Most people live everywhere but here. Their minds are trapped in yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's fears. They replay old conversations, dread future outcomes, and wonder why they feel restless and empty. Life whispers, "Stay with me," but we're too busy chasing shadows to listen. The Stoics knew that the present is the only place where life truly happens. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by war and betrayal, reminded himself, "You live in the moment, act as if it's all you have." His wisdom endures because it's timeless. You can't rewrite the past or control the future, but you can fully embrace now. This isn't about ignoring responsibility. It's about freeing yourself from the prison of regret and worry. Let's discover how Stoicism helps you savor life, one unrepeatable moment at a time. If you're ready for more wisdom to anchor your life, hit subscribe or follow to stay connected. 1. Release the past. Move forward, freely. Regret is a weight we choose to carry, a silent burden that saps our energy and steals our joy. We replay old conversations, obsess over missed chances, and wish we had chosen differently. But here's the hard truth. No amount of reflection, no mental re-editing of past events will ever change what has already happened. The Stoics saw regret for what it is, an unnecessary attachment to something we cannot alter. Seneca, reflecting on the fleeting nature of life, wrote, "What's done cannot be undone, but what follows is in your hands." Dwelling on the past binds you to moments that have already passed, leaving you blind to the possibilities in front of you. Consider this. When you walk while staring backward, you're bound to stumble. The same is true in life. Every minute spent fixating on the past is a minute stolen from the present. This doesn't mean ignoring your past. It means choosing to learn from it without letting it define you. To release regret, start by shifting your mindset from "why did I" to "what can I?" Instead of focusing on past mistakes and assigning blame, ask yourself what you can do now to move forward. This shift from rumination to action restores your sense of control. Next, turn your reflection into growth. Reflecting on past mistakes isn't inherently bad, but it should lead to insight. If your reflection doesn't bring clarity or a path forward, it's just rumination. After reflecting, ask yourself, what lesson can I take from this? Then release the rest and move on. Finally, create a ritual of release. Engage in a small physical gesture to symbolize letting go of regret. Write down your worries and throw them away, or take a deep breath and exhale while silently saying, "It's over." These small acts help remind your mind and body that the past is no longer yours to carry. Whenever regret tries to take root, remind yourself, "The past is dead. My power lies in the present." You cannot change the beginning of the story, but you always have the power to choose how it ends. 2. Stop borrowing trouble from the future. Anxiety often wears the mask of preparation, whispering that if you worry enough, you'll be ready for whatever comes. But worry isn't the same as readiness. It's suffering in advance. The Stoics called this suffering before it's necessary. Marcus Aurelius, who carried the weight of an empire, wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you must, with the same reason that strengthens you now." His life was filled with unknowns, wars, betrayals, plagues, and yet he found strength not in predicting the future, but in meeting each day as it came. Think of the countless hours you've spent imagining worst-case scenarios. How many of those fears actually came true? And of the few that did, were they ever as catastrophic as you imagined? More often than not, fear exaggerates the future, painting it darker than reality. To break free from future worry, start by naming the fear. When anxiety arises, don't let it spiral out of control. Instead, name it aloud. I'm afraid this meeting will go badly. By naming the fear, you strip it of its power and can see it more clearly, helping you regain control. Next, ask yourself, is this happening right now? Anxiety often lives in a future that hasn't arrived yet. When fear grips you, pause and reflect. If the answer is no, redirect your mind to the present, what you can see, hear, and touch at this very moment. This helps ground you in the reality of the here and now. You can also turn worry into action. Worry tends to feel endless when it stays in your mind. Combat this by taking small actions, such as preparing for a presentation, reaching out to a friend, or even meditating for a minute. These actions help break the cycle of anxiety and bring you back to the present moment. Finally, embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and the Stoics believed that our true strength comes not from avoiding uncertainty, but from trusting our ability to handle it. Remind yourself, I don't need to know what happens next. I just need to trust that I'll meet it with strength. By letting go of the fear and worry about what might happen, you reclaim your peace. The future will unfold, no matter how much you fear or try to prepare for it. But when you stay grounded in the present, you'll discover that you're stronger and more resilient than you ever imagined. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you will face whatever comes with the same strength you have today. Instead of fearing the unknown, focus on living fully in the present. When tomorrow arrives, the only thing that will matter is how you chose to live today. 3. Cherish the present. Life is now. The present moment rarely demands attention. It passes quietly, overshadowed by plans, distractions, and worries. We rush through life, always thinking about the next task, the next achievement, the next chapter. But in chasing what's next, we miss the simple beauty of what's here. The Stoics knew that life isn't made of grand events. It's woven from small, unrepeatable moments. Epictetus taught, don't demand that things happen as you wish for them to happen as they do, and you will find joy. Joy doesn't have to come from promotions, vacations, or once-in-a-lifetime moments. It's in the quiet warmth of sunlight on your face, the laughter of a loved one, or the calm of your morning coffee. But noticing these things requires slowing down, being fully present, and appreciating life's simplicity without rushing past it. To savor the present, start by pausing for micro-moments. 3 times a day, take 30 seconds to stop, look around, and ask yourself, what's good in this moment? It could be as simple as feeling a soft breeze, the comfort of your chair, or even a brief moment of calm. These pauses serve as reminders that life is happening right now, not in some distant later. Next, practice single tasking with intention. In a world that encourages multitasking, we often miss out on the richness of the present moment. Whether you're eating, walking, or having a conversation, try to focus on doing just one thing at a time, fully. Savor each bite of food, take in the sights and sounds around you, and truly listen when others speak. Gratitude for the ordinary is another powerful practice. Each evening, write down one simple thing you appreciated that day, whether it's the kindness of a stranger, the sound of rain, or a quiet moment of reflection. Practicing gratitude grounds you in the present, helping you see and savor the beauty in even the most mundane moments. The present moment is fleeting but profoundly valuable. If you wait for the big moments to bring you happiness, you'll miss countless opportunities for joy. Savor the small moments because these moments are your life. You wait for life's big moments to be happy, you'll miss countless opportunities for joy. Savor the small because these small moments are your life. 4. Embrace imperfection. Find joy today. We often approach life with an unconscious expectation of perfection. We want things to go smoothly, people to meet our standards and ourselves to avoid mistakes. But life isn't perfect. It's messy, unpredictable, and full of flaws. When we resist this truth, regret over past imperfections and anxiety about future failures take root. The Stoics didn't seek perfection in the external world. They sought peace through acceptance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek perfection in everything, you will be disappointed. Instead, be content to do your best." He wasn't telling us to lower our standards, but to embrace the reality that things will rarely go exactly as planned. Think of how much time you've wasted agonizing over imperfections, a minor error at work, a social misstep, or even how you look in the mirror. What if, instead of criticizing yourself or the world, you simply said, "This is enough"? Perfection isn't necessary for meaning or joy. It's our acceptance of imperfection that frees us to live fully. To embrace imperfection, start by practicing good enough. When you find yourself fixating on small flaws, pause and ask, "Is this good enough for now?" Remind yourself that striving for excellence is admirable, but expecting perfection can trap you in endless dissatisfaction. Acknowledge that perfection is often an illusion and embrace progress instead. Next, welcome mistakes as teachers. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of criticizing yourself, ask, "What did this teach me?" When you shift your perspective, imperfection becomes a source of wisdom, and failure becomes a valuable lesson rather than a setback. Also, release control over others. Life and people will never be perfect. Instead of expecting others to meet your standards, practice accepting them as they are. This doesn't mean tolerating harm or disrespect, but rather letting go of unrealistic expectations and embracing others' imperfections. Finally, celebrate the messy wins. Perhaps you stumbled through a presentation but finished it anyway, or maybe dinner didn't turn out as planned, but it still made you laugh. These moments of progress, even with their flaws, are worth celebrating. They remind you that you are living, growing, and showing up despite the imperfections. Final thought: choose to be present. Living in the moment isn't about forgetting the past or ignoring the future. It's about choosing not to be their prisoner. The present is your only chance to live fully, to act, to savor, to be. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you have 10,000 years left to live. Life is short. Master this moment." When you stay anchored in the now, you'll find that regret and worry lose their grip, and life becomes clearer, calmer, and infinitely richer. Choose to be here, because here is where life happens. If you found this insight helpful, don't forget to give a like and subscribe. It helps us reach more people with these timeless lessons. Let's walk this path of growth, mindfulness, and peace together. See you next time.